Okay, so I'm going to do a little short video about how to replace one of your broken studs, because this is going to happen to you if you work on jet skis, car engines, especially the exhaust, motorcycles. You're going to deal with a broken stud. Saltwater jet skis are going to have far more of these corroded. But here's what I got. I had one of my cylinder head bolts break. I was properly torquing it, but it broke. These are the type of nuts that go on it, and they have a washer under every single bolt. So I took one of my bolts that was still good. As you can see, it's just a couple of millimeters longer, the one that I got. These are 8mm by 1.25. And so since that broke, then I've got one of these with a bolt broke off in it, which I don't even want to try to get that out. So I went to my local Ace Hardware, and they had these, and that's going to be a hardened steel bolt. That's why it's black and not like this color. So I've got a replacement stud to put in. I found out that my stud removal tool that I have, this little jewel right here, works quite well for removing these without damaging the threads, as long as you're gripping, you're gripping down in this shoulder part and not in the threads. It worked quite well. So I could have removed all the threads with that tool. It's very easy to use, quicker than the two nut method. And I just used a socket wrench, as you can see, to pull that out. But even the Ace Hardware studs have a top and a bottom, just like the ones that came on the engine. You can see I've got plenty of thread there, and then it's just the right amount of thread here. You got a little bit sticking up there. I don't think that's going to matter, but since I have a longer bolt, I'm just going to add one extra washer to take up that space, since I'm using the stainless steel acorn nuts. Now, you could skip using a washer if you switch the nut to an open-ended nut, and then just go with the one washer on it. But for me to make up the difference, rather than cutting this, I'm going to just add an extra washer, and that'll take up the difference. But see how you got a flat end here? See how that's flat? See how that end's got a little bit more of my hand on it. It's just tapered just a little. It's not as pronounced as these. Scramble's having a hard time focusing, but there is a top and a bottom to these as well. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'll use the tool, replace it, then I'll go ahead and redo my cylinder torque all over again. I did buy spares in case another one decides to break on me. But this is going to happen to you working on jet skis, motorcycles, automobiles, whatever. You're going to break bolts. Luckily, this was easy to get out because I had all of this sticking out. The tool fit right on it, came right out, worked great. So 8mm by 1.25. Ace Hardware had this stud. I guess I should measure that and give you a length on it. This kind of thing is going to happen building engines. Get used to it. 22 foot-pounds for your cylinder head bolts. Make sure you put your washers under them. Let's build it. So to tighten this tool, you get you something. It would be preferable to have a large wrench. I don't have one that big. And then put this in the reverse, like you're removing it, and it will tighten up that collar onto the stud that you're working on. That locks it. Then you just get it in, put it in the forward position for your socket wrench. Crank it down. Crank it down until it seats. The threads will seat. And you'll be ready to go. Which I don't want to crank this down so far that I scrape my gasket with this tool, which it shouldn't go that far. But this tool does work for this application, removing and installing these bolts. So there it is. Let's give it a little snug up. And then you should leave it in the forward position to to loosen this off of the stud. And you're done. Voila. Voila. Thank you, Ace Hardware, for having that in stock. And my local Ace Hardware is pretty well stocked for an Ace Hardware. I know some of them are better than others about having the hardware, but mine, man, they got it going on. All right, I'll put my other one back in. And now I can know, since this one broke, that using that tool works just fine. So that's how you install a stud with a stud extractor tool. These are available online. These are available at most automotive. I think I got this one in Advanced Auto Parts. Ace didn't have it. I would have bought it there. I like supporting the small businesses before I support all the big corporate guys. But there it is. PT stud extractor. There's their part number for it. Probably get it on Amazon. Lifetime warranty. Whose lifetime? I don't know. There you go. Thanks for watching Shade Tree Jet Ski. Installing a stud.